Diagnosed with arthritis in my back. I was diagnosed with ruptured disc. I was diagnosed with a pinched nerve. The truth of the matter is I got sciatica, and then I have no fluid in my disc because of the injury. I was a former Muni bus driver who was retaliated against for health and safety. I got injured due to a defective tire that was on the transit vehicle. And I kept reporting it and kept turning buses down, and all of a sudden I got one of these coaches and the tire exploded on me. And I had a busload of passengers and the tire just bloomed, just exploded. I really don't know where to start, because that incident has changed my life drastically. I've been retaliated against for going to Cal OSHA. I got retaliated against for going to the mayor, going to the board of supervisors, using my political allies, but that was supposed to be voted in by me, because at the time I was a citizen of San Francisco, and I'm supposed to be able to use my resources that's available to me if the agency that I'm working for is a government agency. It's overseen by the board of supervisors. I'm their constituent. They're supposed to sit there and listen to me and take my complaint into consideration and do something about it. But in fact, they put me on the chopping block because I exposed all the health and safety concerns, no bathrooms for the drivers. Drivers have to use Snapple bottles and plastic bags to relieve themselves at the end of the line, and there's no bathrooms. And I went to Cal OSHA, and come to find out, the city paid this investigator to turn his back and ignore the complaint and not fine them. So that's where a lot of this stuff comes back to. Where's our protections? Who's protecting us, the workers, from retaliation and being bullied by the employer? Who's protecting us from getting injured? Who's out there protecting not only us, the people that ride the bus? Because when the driver cannot relieve himself and he has to drive up and down the road, he's going to have an accident. He's going to hit and kill someone because he has no means to relieve himself. He's going to not only cause health and safety for himself, he's going to cause health and safety for the people that's on the bus. Because when he relieves himself on that bus, it's going to leave malfeasance and all that other stuff that's on that bus. And then people got to smell that. And it's just sickening that we have to work in this type of environment. And then our so-called bureaucratic union leaders, they handed me to management on a silver platter. Because one thing I did back in 2009, they had a general sign-up. And the first thing that they were talking about, running the coaches faster. I said, wait a minute, I'm not going to run faster. There's a medical report about what can happen if you increase productivity in the transit operator. Dr. June Fisher, it was done in the 1980s. And it talks about myocardial infarction, talks about back problems with the back, psychological problems, mental illnesses that can transpire from speeding up the health and safety the process of working hard and working under stressful conditions. You can actually snap, go postal, just like this lady was talking about the workplace stress. All those things can happen. So my termination was politically motivated, led by Mayor and Supervisor Sean Ellsberg, whose wife is on the what you call the Civil Service Commission, the Executive Director of the Civil Service Commission. They refused to get a civil service hearing. They wrote me a letter telling me my case has been settled internally and this matter is closed. I get the letter after the appeal date for me, the time allotted for me. They put the mail in. They put it in the mail the same day that my last date of appeal was supposed to happen. I never had the opportunity to appeal it. So what I did was I took all this information to the Labor Relations Board. I got a case, got a hearing, made them all look like dummies. I won my case. Right in the middle of the case, the guy read my court reporter minutes at my arbitration hearing, and he said, "Wait a minute, something's not right here. This is a setup. You set this man up. I order you to reinstate this man immediately and did not continue the hearing. You have 10 days to reinstate this man with full back pay, everything." Here I am, 6 months later to a year, still not back. I don't care to go back, really. I'm making more money now than I was there. So I would like to go back for one thing and one thing only. Is to show them that you can't get away with bullying people. Workplace bullying needs to stop effective immediately. Because I'm going to say it to you like this. An injury to one of us is an injury to all of us. Because what's going to happen what happened to me to you. And we have to all stick together. Hey, wait a minute. My coworkers, which none of them there except Mr. Bernardo, he's the only one that stood behind me through the whole thing. Now that division, Muni should have been shut down when they let me go. It should have been shut down. They falsified charges. I took them to the Sunshine Task Force. My story made the New York Times. National syndication. My story made the New York Times. And that was just an honor to make the New York Times. And unfortunately, I was at one of the community meetings speaking out against the health and safety of the transit equipment. And a reporter was there. He introduced himself to me. Me and him had extensive interviews, and came out of it a 6-page article. 6-page article about the transit equipment that's outside right now with the people who are driving. You know what the MTA did? They had my coworkers who was on light duty, driving in vans, going around to newspaper racks, taking the story out of the newspaper racks, and bringing them to the precision and setting them all on fire. As the end result, I've been terrorized by these people. I use my wife's car. My car had broke down, and she let me use her car to go back and forth to work. You know they set her car on fire? They set her car on fire. right outside the division. They set her car on fire, thinking that I had information in her car that can get them in trouble with the federal government, because they've been defrauding the federal government, and the citizens of the United States of America has been defrauded by the SFMTA. One time too many. So now we're going to take a stand against that. When they bully us, we're going to bully them. They see me coming. They used to see me coming. They had special sidebar meetings at the MTA just for me, one individual. I'm just one individual. Who is this man? How is this man thinking, and how has he got this much power to stop us? The reason why this model problem is because I have help. I have the community behind me, and I have God behind me that's helping me beat these people. So my thing is, we got to stop this workplace bullying, because when they attack one worker, they're attacking us all. And the MTA is a criminal organization that was approved by the voters of the county of San Francisco, which realize now that they made a mistake. Because now they finna build the central subway. And guess what they did? They went out and paid an actor to pose as an engineer. They actually paid an actor to pose as an engineer to trick the people, to convince. Yeah, John Fungi. He's a gifted actor. He's not a real engineer. Anybody knows that when you mix water, mud, and sand, you get sludge. And he's telling them that when we start dredging for what's the name of that theater out there in the North Beach? Panoli Theater.
They want to take all the water because that's got high water table out, and everybody around there has been telling them the buildings in that area are going to be severely damaged and ruined because the ground is going to settle, because dirt is smaller than mud. And
right.
He who's supposed to be an engineer don't even know that.
Right.
In our group, we have a real engineer. He said he's not an engineer.
What happened to me was Gavin Newsom got on television one morning, flat out told the Muni operators that you're not getting your trust fund check. So I had a problem with that. So I went to the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force and asked for all the records pertaining to where my money went, that I'm paying out of my pocket towards health benefits, and I'm supposed to get a rebate check at the end of the year. I want to know where my money at. So I went, sunshined it, made them went down there, made them look like fools. They got with every violation in the book, willful withholding of documents, falsification of documents, and they got referred to the Ethics Commission. That was a joke. All the Ethics Commission did was slapped them on the wrist and told them don't do it again. But I got retaliated, and I got fired against. I got fired for standing up for my rights of my coworkers who don't have my back because they scared that the bully is going to bully them too. And I'm not going to stand there, me personally, I'm not going to stand there and let somebody tell me on national television that you're going to take something from me and not give me nothing back. I have a problem with that. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to punk me. I'm going to punk you before you punk me. And that's where I was. So I went down there and I said, look, I want my money. I went down to the mayor's office and I demanded my money. So he places Ed Lee places a phone call. Next thing you know, I'm being called in the superintendent's office with papers for dismissal. I didn't threaten him. I just asked him, where's my money? This says I'm supposed to have, this says the city is supposed to put $16 million into this fund, and I'm supposed to get $8,000. Where's my $8,000? I went down there and asked him, where's my $8,000? I'm going to tell you where my $8,000 went. I only got half of my money. Half went to the criminals of the union, and the other half went to the Central Subway, which we don't need. Well, we need a mile and a half subway to nowhere. When it's people in the city and county of San Francisco who have social issues, homelessness, and all that stuff that need to be dealt with, and you wasting money on a subway to nowhere, I have a problem with that. I'm not gonna. We all in this room we're here together. We have something in common. We all either been bullied by the employer, or we've been bullied, or been intimidated, or manipulated by the employer. But these people are straight criminals. And most of these supervisors, I'm gonna tell you about most of these supervisors, especially the ones where we work at. They have histrionic personality disorders. That's what they have. They can't even control their own environment at home. So now they're in a position of power. So they let that position of power get to their head, and they don't know what to do with it. They really don't. So what we have to do, when they bullying one of our coworkers, we need to be in their face. Hey, you need to go back and sit down, because what you're doing is wrong. He's human just like we are. And he deserves the same respect that you want him to give you. You got to give him, if you want somebody to respect you, you have to give them the same respect that you want. If you can't do that, then don't say nothing to them. Don't do nothing. But we all need to be together in this battle against these corporations. I'm going to flat out tell you, the only solution and the viable solution is a general strike. That's the only solution. That's the only way we're going to get these people attention, is to shut down their productivity, shut down their means of survival. Because think about it. Think about it. We are the lifeblood of the capitalist system. And if we stop patronizing, stop utilizing, and start growing our own food, I'm going to tell you the truth about the whole thing. Most of those people that run these corporations, they don't know the first thing of operation that they running, because guess who's running? We do. Without us, they not successful. We got enough skillful people in the working class till we got the knowledge to start manufacturing our own goods. We got the means to build our own products, build our own, and get away from them. Because we can break them, because we know how to mix the chemicals together to make raw materials, and we have all that knowledge. They don't know it. They can't. The only thing they know how to do is just sit there and act like they collect the money, but they don't know nothing. It's up to the people that work for them. Hey, you want to bully me? We're going to stop you from making money. We're going to bully you. We're going to hit you in the pockets. That's why the MTA got rid of me, because I was hitting them in the pockets. I was hitting them in their pockets. When Cal OSHA told them they was going to put a fine, guess what they did? They went and ordered porta potties and put them all on every street corner, every terminal. They had a porta potty. They gone now because I'm not there. Because all the people that they scared. They bully and intimidate people. They got people with they slave mentality minds, and they consume their behavior process that we control you. We can make you or break you. No, you can't. You can't make or break me. I make and break you. So my thing is, I have to protect me and my friends. I'm for what's right in the work field. If you messing with him, I don't care who you are. If you messing with this gentleman here, you messing with me, because we all here the same. We all here to make a change in the environment. And if you don't want to make change in your environment, then step out the way and let the people who want to make change make this change, because it takes a lot of us, an army of us, to make change. Either people are afraid to make change, or they scared to make change, or whatever. The change starts within us, and they got it set in the mind by bullying you. When they bully you, they consume your thinking, they consume your thought process, how you think, how you act. And that's not the way to be if you want to make change. You're not gonna be successful in changing and things. We have excellent resources here in this room with Steve and this gentleman here and a lot of you guys. That's why you guys are here, because you guys are ready to make change in the work field. You guys are ready to curb the bullying. You guys are ready to make things happen positive for the working environment. Tell these capitalists, take your products and take them and shove them as far as you're behind it as you can, because we're not gonna sit here and take this bullying stuff while we're trying to help you become successful in running your business. Without us, you can't be successful running your business. In closing, we need to get out there and talk to our coworkers and let them know, hey, the bullying stops now. Even though we have automated representation, when I'm talking about automated representation, I'm talking about automated representation of our union officials. When we try to reach them by phone, we get an answering service. When we want to file a grievance, we get a voicemail. So we file our own grievances together. We take our image, we kick down the door and demand that the executive director of our departments or whoever our boss is demand to take this grievance and honor this grievance and stop these irrational thinking supervisors who uses bully tactics to stop using bully tactics to intimidate us, because I'm not scared of an employer. I'm not scared of no man. You breathe, eat just like I do. So in closing, we all need to stand up to these people and let them know, hey, you're not going to bully me no more. If from an insurance company, whoever, you're not going to bully me no more. So in closing, in solidarity, I'm with everyone in this room. It's time for us to make change.